Titans Saints week 1 is right around the corner. So on today's show, we're going to run through the injury report, and then I'm going to give you guys 5 keys to victory for Tennessee. I know that Mike Vrabel is going to show this video before kickoff, so if we want to ensure the Titans start off with a win, unlike some recent history, well, listen up. But I do want to know from everyone watching right now, who you got in this game? Is it the Titans or is it the Saints? Type TEN for Tennessee down below, or type no for no, you do not think the Saints have any chance in this game. But either way, let me know who you got down below, Titans or Saints. Now, I really quickly want to run through the injury report with everyone here, starting with Tennessee. Will Levis, fully participant, but doesn't really matter. He should not play. Treylon Burks, good to see him back, full participant, as he suffered a bit of a knee injury scare towards the end of training camp. Dillon Radunz coming back from that torn ACL. He was limited. Tre Avery was limited with the hamstring. Arden Key was a full participant with the calf injury. And then Landry was limited with an abdomen injury. So no major injuries, no big cause for concern. I think Tennessee will go out with all 22 healthy starters pretty much. As for the New Orleans Saints, they have Kendre, who they drafted out of TCU. I don't think we're going to see him in week 1. He's coming back from a knee injury. Tre'Quan Smith did not practice either with a groin. Jimmy Graham got the day off because he's ancient. Ryan Ramczyk also got the day off. Marshon Lattimore was limited with a knee injury, but no real concern right there. And then JT Gray is working on a shoulder injury. So both sides, as they should be for week 1, are pretty well rested and healthy for this first game of the year. So now that we got through kind of the boring, smoring injury stuff here, let's now get into the fun stuff. Keys to victory. Mike Vrabel has to dominate Dennis Allen. He has to emasculate Dennis Allen. When this game is over and they meet in the middle for a handshake, I want Dennis Allen to do that what the new Washington Commanders owner did with Joe Buck. It's got to be that pathetic of a handshake for after what Vrabes did to him. Because these two guys head-to-head, it's no contest. Mike Vrabel has coached for one more year as an NFL head coach than Dennis Allen. He has 48 wins compared to Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen could go 17-0 this year and not have as many wins as Mike Vrabel. Dennis Allen has never gone to the postseason as a head coach. Now, both guys have struggled in the first week of the season. Dennis Allen picked up his first win last year in week 1 against Atlanta. Meanwhile, well, we know Vrabes and Tennessee have struggled out of the gate the last 2 years. So with that being said, no more week 1 just ugliness like 2021 against the Cardinals and then blown lead last year against the Giants. That has to go. That has to be over with. I'm not quite sure what the root cause of that is, but I trust Mike Vrabel to identify it and then squash it like a bug. Because week 1, Tennessee can't afford to come out on a bit of a slow start and try and pick things up later on. The AFC is just too loaded this year to not come out with your best foot forward. Moving on to my second key to victory here, bounce back year for Ryan Tannehill. We need to see the old Ryan Tannehill, not the super duper old Ryan Tannehill. Leave the Dolphins Ryan Tannehill behind. I want to see that post-Dolphins, pre-2021 Tannehill. That nice little slim corridor where he was an elite quarterback. Or if we can't find that guy, how about this guy right here? How about the guy last year who started off 4-2, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, over 1,000 yards the first 6 games of the year, and over 65% completion percentage. The Tennessee Titans got off to a nice start last year, and unfortunately, injuries to Tannehill and others derailed their season. But Tannehill's back, he's healthy, and this team wins with Ryan Tannehill. I know the guy does not have the entire fan base rallying around him. He might not be the guy that ultimately lifts the Lombardi in the Volunteer State, but I do believe he is the best guy to help them win this year. And him being healthy is going to help a lot. Now, before we get to the rest of my keys to victory, let me tell you guys the key to getting the best tickets, and that is with our sponsor today, Game Time. Buying tickets to see your favorite team, concert, or event, or whatever it may be, should not be stressful. And with Game Time, which is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, theater, and more, it's not stressful. So I know personally using Game Time, they got me an awesome deal when me and some guys here at Chat Sports went to Charlotte, North Carolina last weekend to catch the UNC South Carolina game. And thanks to our friends over at Game Time, they were able to hook it up with $20 off. And now they're offering the same deal to Titans fans. When you download the Game Time app and you use promo code TitansChat, you get $20 off. So forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. So snag the tickets without the stress thanks to Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and when you use code TitansChat, they're going to give you guys $20 off your ticket. So terms apply, but once again, download the account, use that promo code TitansChat, get $20 off. All that information is down in the comments and the description of today's video. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Okay, with that being said, we can move on to some other keys to victory we have for Tennessee going into this Week 1 showdown down in the Big Easy. This might be the last gasp for Derrick Henry. I don't want to get too, dark and gloomy about what Derrick Henry's future look like, whether it's with Tennessee or just in the NFL in period. But I do know that his contract is up after this season, and I do fear that this might be the last hurrah for Derrick Henry. And if it is, I want it to be an absolute banger of a season. You look at what he's done over the last 4 years, even when the guy is not at his absolute A-plus game, he still gets 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns. He shows no sign of really ever slowing down. Throughout his career, he has been, I would say, the best player in Tennessee Titans football history. Over 8,000 rushing yards, 78 touchdowns. He is impossible to bring down. He is just way too large of a human being to be moving that fast with a football in his hand. So let's ride off into the sunset if this truly is the last ride with Derrick Henry for just another casual 2K season. And if he gets 2,000 yards, he's probably coming back. But regardless, I want to see Derrick Henry dominate on the ground against the New Orleans Saints and kind of set the tone for what's going to be an awesome 2023 year. But is this Derrick Henry's last year in Nashville? Y for yes or N for no? Give me your honest opinion. I know this is not an easy conversation to have, but I do want to know what you guys are thinking about this going into the 2023 season. Moving up to my fourth key to victory, the defensive backs need to hold up against the Saints wide receivers. New Orleans won 7 games last year. Tennessee's not coming to New Orleans facing a team that has a lot of bark behind this bite. But what they do have are some good wide receivers. Chris Olave, if not for his old teammate in Columbus, Garrett Wilson, winning NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, this easily could have been Olave's award a season ago. Michael Thomas might be back. I don't know. Rashid Shaheed, Saints fans drool over him. He's kind of like their Kyle Phillips, if you will. And then A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest. I just liked him coming out of college, so I can't wait to see what he brings. But Chris Olave is the guy that if the Tennessee Titans are going to get taken over through the air, it's going to be because of number 12. Last year, as a rookie, he put up 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. It was a bit of a discombobulated offense that went from Jameis to Andy Dalton, but Olave was consistent the entire time. And then you've got Slant Boy, Michael Thomas, who has played very little football the last 3 years. In fact, 10 games over the last 3 years total. But if you can go back to 2019, when he won a lot of people their fantasy football leagues, 1,700 yards and 9 touchdowns, he thinks that guy is back. And if that guy is back, even if 90% of 2019 Michael Thomas is back, well, that's going to spell a long day for these guys on screen now. Tennessee's corners, right? Christian Fulton, Sean Murphy-Bunting, and Roger McCreary. If they have to deal with Chris Olave and a fully healthy and ready-to-go slant boy Michael Thomas, this could be an area where New Orleans exploits Tennessee. So I'm counting on these 3 guys to kind of limit the damage and stop the bleeding. Now, my final key to victory, win in the trenches. When you think of the Tennessee Titans and the 2023 New Orleans Saints, you're not thinking of some candy-ass Pac-12 offense air raid. They're not doing that with Ryan Tannehill, and they're not doing that with Derek Carr. Both these teams want to win in the trenches. So that's why it comes down to Tennessee's offensive line to have a major bounce-back season after a dreadful go-around a year ago. And then it comes down to Tennessee's front 5 to impose their will on the Saints offensive line, right? Harold Landry's back. Jeffrey Simmons is one of the best DTs in the game. Teair Tart and Danico Autry definitely don't get as much credit as they deserve. So I'm going to count on those 10 players right there, the front 5 for Tennessee on defense and the 5 offensive linemen to dominate in the trenches, because the Saints, I don't think they win this game by throwing the ball 50, 55 times. I think they try and win this game by establishing a good ground game, but also limiting Tennessee's ground game with Derrick Henry, and that goes back to the offensive line not being pushed around like they were much of last season. So predicted score for me, Titans versus Saints. Give me your best score prediction down below. I'm going to say Tennessee wins this one. Low score, give me 17-15. Kind of a little scoregami-ish, if you will. So let me know what your score predictions are down below. That will do it for us on today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys on game day.